We the people expect at least some sanity from those we elect to the highest offices in the land. But if there's one thing all of America's leaders have in common, it's a homicidal narcissism. If they have two things in common, it has to be their strange tales of supernatural encounters. Their stories range from terrifying to ridiculous. But what exactly did this former US president reveal? Stay with us until the end to know everything there is to know about this and much more. For a long time, having an interest in unidentified flying objects, or UFOs, was considered largely taboo in mainstream culture. However, attitudes appear to be shifting in America, with personalities ranging from Barack Obama to former NBA great Shaquille O'Neal voicing their opinions. The notion that government executives and employees have insider knowledge of conspiracy theories and unidentified sightings is not novel. What you may not know is that presidents and other top officials are frequently as clueless as the ordinary people. While it may be tempting to think that they know everything, history has demonstrated that presidents both recent and distant have showed an interest in phenomena such as UFOs and Bigfoot sightings despite their lack of understanding. Are we alone? Have alien spaceships been buzzing around the Earth's atmosphere? These are the questions raised in a new report by the United States government on unexplained aerial occurrences. So far, it appears that the report's responses will leave UFO enthusiasts and conspiracy theorists disappointed. Officials and analysts in the United States who analysed video footage from US Navy planes and other documents believe the evidence does not point to alien technology, but they also can't explain the bizarre happenings. Former President Barack Obama declares he's just like us. In one sense, the former president is curious in whether or not there are other life forms out there. During an interview in a guest appearance on The Late Late Show recently, Obama admitted, "The truth is that when I came into office, I asked, I was like, all right, is there the lab somewhere where we're keeping the alien specimens and a spaceship? And they did a little bit of research and the answer was no." He was, of course, joking. But then Obama mentioned something else regarding UFOs and things got extremely intriguing. Here's Barack Obama. What is true, and I'm actually being serious here, is that there's footage and records of objects in the skies that we don't know exactly what they are. We can't explain how they moved, their trajectory. They did not have an easily explainable pattern. And so, I think that people still take seriously trying to investigate and figure out what that is. Obama's acknowledgement that there are, in fact, footage and records of objects in the skies that we don't know exactly what they are. We can't explain how they moved, their trajectory, is consistent with a growing acknowledgement by official government institutions after decades of denial that UFOs are real. Believing in UFOs does not need belief in aliens. UFOs are simply unidentified flying objects. There is no assumption that they include other types of life. Former Senate Majority Leader Harry Reid was a lone voice in Congress on the existence of UFOs for many years. Reid advocated for the establishment of the Advanced Aerospace Threat Identification Program, AATIP, in 2007, which was housed under the Department of Defense and about which little was or is known. Reid was unapologetic in a 2019 interview for the show Nevada Newsmakers about the $22 million he had set aside for AATIP during his time in the Senate. "We know that China is doing it," Reid said of the examination of unexplained flying objects. "We know that Russia, which is led by someone within the KGB, is doing it too, so we better take a look at it too," Reid added. "We got a volume of research that was done, $22 million worth of research. It showed that not 2 people, 4 people, or 6 people, or 20 people, but hundreds and hundreds of people have seen these things, sometimes all at the same time." Reid was taken aback in April 2020 when the Pentagon released 3 recordings of unidentified aerial phenomena. A huge step in the government confirming their existence. "I'm glad the Pentagon is finally releasing this footage," Reid tweeted. "But it only scratches the surface of research and materials available. The US needs to take a serious scientific look at this and any potential national security implications. The American people deserve to be informed." The White House is haunted. There have been reports of a demonic cat stalking between the Capitol and the White House since the mid-1800s, scaring staff and officials. And, given that living cats are already troublemakers, that seems like something a demon cat would do. The cat is said to live in the crypt beneath the Capitol building and to have appeared before to administration transitions and national disasters such as the Lincoln and Kennedy killings and the 1929 stock market meltdown. The cat, which is now dismissed as the stories of inebriated Capitol Hill security personnel, has a very long past. It's thought to be the ghostly remnant of one of the cats used to catch the hordes of rats that were present when the building was first constructed, when DC was a horrible oozing swamp in more ways than one. The creature is said to grow to the size of a tiger and once gave a guard a heart attack as it leapt at him and vanished just before landing. One guard claimed to have fired at it, only to have the bullets pass right through. The White House is thought to be one of the most haunted houses in the country, with almost everyone who has lived or visited there for extended periods of time, from presidents to first ladies, White House staff members and guests, all expressing having felt ghostly presences and strange, unexplainable events. Some claim to have encountered the ghostly apparitions of various former presidents. The first of these sightings is the spirit of Abigail Adams, the wife of John Adams, who served as president from 1797 to 1801. This was back in the early days of the White House, when Washington, D.C. was still a town established on the swampy ground of the Potomac River's banks. Because most of the rooms were damp from humidity, the First Lady would dry her laundered garments in the East Room of the new White House. There have been reports of her ghost heading towards the East Room, holding her hands out as though carrying the laundry. Another rumoured appearance is that of President Andrew Jackson, who nursed vendetta against those who cost him the election over John Quincy Adams. Jackson is frequently rumoured to be wandering the halls. The haunting account of President Abraham Lincoln, the 16th President of the United States, is possibly the most renowned haunting account of the White House. These sightings are among the most common, with many people claiming to have seen his ghost or felt his presence. Lincoln, whose life was cut short by an assassin's bullet in April 1865, was reported to have been seen for the first time by Grace Coolidge, the wife of President Calvin Coolidge, who served from 1923 to 1929. Grace stated that the lanky president was standing in the Oval Office, staring out the window across the Potomac River toward where the Civil War battles were fought beyond. Later, President Lyndon B. Johnson's wife claimed to have sensed Lincoln's presence while watching a television show about his death. During Franklin D. Roosevelt's long presidency, the most noteworthy and regular sightings of Lincoln's ghostly presence ranged from Eleanor Roosevelt stating she felt his presence while working in Lincoln's former office to several people claiming to have seen his spirit. Even British Prime Minister Winston Churchill allegedly states that as he came out of the bath naked, he discovered Lincoln's ghost sitting by the fireplace in his chamber. Some psychics believe that President Abraham Lincoln's spirit appears at the White House during times of crisis to assist the nation in whatever small way he can. As we've seen, presidents have been central to accounts of hauntings and supernatural within the White House, with many of them either seeing or becoming ghosts. Whatever you think about the existence of the supernatural, there is no disputing the White House and its numerous presidents have a rich history. Teddy Roosevelt wrote about a hunter killed by Bigfoot. Theodore Roosevelt was the 26th President of the United States as well as a talented writer. He wrote on a wide range of topics and subjects, including memoirs about his time with the mounted police, military history novels, and books on his hunting adventures. In his personal writings, he recounted a variety of various creatures that he hunted, but no contacts with the supernatural or weird, such as a ghost or a Bigfoot, were mentioned. However, despite the fact that he never wrote about personally seeing or hunting a Bigfoot, he did write about someone else's experience with a Bigfoot in his book, The Wilderness Hunter, which was published in 1893. This narrative was recounted to him by Bauman, who he characterized as a grizzled, weather-beaten old mountain hunter. The sighting happened near the Salmon River, which connects Idaho and Montana. Bauman was said to be out hunting with another man when they realized they were being followed by what they thought was a bear. When the beast was discovered stalking them while they were hunting and beaver trapping, it ransacked their camping area. While Bauman was out hunting the next day, the other man was fatally attacked and left with a broken neck. Roosevelt stated that Bauman bolted, leaving all of his supplies but his weapon all the way down the pass until he was out of the creature's way and pursuit. Bauman was convinced he had encountered a North American Sasquatch, commonly known as the huge wood ape or Bigfoot. Roosevelt noted Bauman's description of it as a half-human, half-devil or half-goblin beast in the book. While Teddy Roosevelt recorded Bauman's narrative as well as he could, it appeared that he was skeptical about Bauman's experience. Roosevelt said that the most convincing justification for it being genuine was that Bauman had to believe what he said because he couldn't help but tremble at various moments in the story. Whether Bauman's encounter was with a real Bigfoot or not, it made for a terrific and entertaining narrative. Let's hear what you have to say about all this in the comments down below.